Wisdom Delve.
Have you ever felt like an actor in the theater of your own life, wearing masks not to deceive others, but simply survive? You are not alone, my friend. You are enacting one of the oldest dramas of the psyche, the dance between the persona and the true self. In this brief journey, I will reveal how your public image, what I call the persona, can become either a prison that silences your soul or a bridge that leads you toward success, connection, and meaning. Question is not whether you wear a mask. You do. The real question is, do you control it or does it control you? Let us explore how to master the persona, to move through society with purpose and presence, without ever losing sight of who you truly are beneath the mask. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how you change depending on who you're talking to? At work, you may be confident, professional, perhaps even strict. With your friends, you loosen up, you joke, and online, you might show a version of yourself that doesn't even exist in real life. This is not you being fake. This is what I call the persona, the social mask you wear to survive, to belong, to be seen. The persona is a functional complex that comes into existence for reasons of adaptation or personal convenience. The persona isn't bad. In fact, without it, you couldn't hold a job, have relationships, or even walk into a room full of strangers. It's the role you play so that society can recognize you. But here's the danger when you begin to think you are the mask, when the image you present to the world becomes more real to you than the person underneath. The persona is that which in reality one is not, but which oneself as well as others think one is. The persona is necessary, but it is only part of you. You must never forget, it's a tool, not your identity. Let me give you a few simple examples. You might be the professional you at work, polite, composed, sharp. That's your persona. Then you go out with friends, and you become funny, sarcastic, relaxed. That's still your persona, just a different mask. And when you post online, using filters, rehearsed captions, and curated opinions, that's yet another persona. We all do it. We have to. But the deeper question is, do you remember who you are when the mask comes off? That's where your real power and your real life begins. The danger is that man becomes identical with a persona, the professor with his textbook, the tenor with his voice. Now that we have explored the nature of the persona, the mask we wear, let us consider how to become mindful of this mask without losing sight of our true self. Know yourself. Before you start shaping your persona, spend time discovering your true strengths and values. A mask that reflects your real self is easier to wear and more powerful. Choose wisely. Be mindful of which parts of yourself you present in different situations. Your persona is a choice, not a prison. The power of the persona, unlocking potential. Many people think of the persona as something fake, like putting on a costume. But I tell you, the persona, when used wisely, is a powerful psychological tool. It allows you to function in the world, build relationships, and move forward in life. You can't walk into society naked, not physically, and certainly not emotionally. You need something between your raw self and the world. That's what the persona provides. Let's start with the basics. 1. Social success, navigating the crowd. In everyday life, the persona helps you adapt. It gives you a shape that others can understand. Without it, even the most brilliant mind would go unnoticed, misunderstood, or rejected. Without a persona, a man would be absolutely non-existent in society. He would be incapable of social intercourse, helpless, disoriented, and practically speechless. Imagine walking into a party or an office meeting without any sense of how to behave. No idea what role to play. You'd feel lost. But with the right persona, you can present yourself with clarity, warmth, and confidence without lying about who you are. That's not deception. That's emotional intelligence. 2. Influence and authority, shaping how others see you. Now, let me tell you a secret.
Wow.
People don't see you as you are. They see you as you appear. Your persona shapes that appearance. If it's weak, scattered, or unclear, others will not know what to expect from you. But if it's consistent, grounded, and authentic,
Yes.
it will naturally inspire trust. The persona is a kind of mask designed on the one hand to make a definite impression upon others, and on the other conceal the true nature of the individual. When you step into leadership, whether in your job, your family, or your community, you need a persona that holds authority. Not arrogance, but presence. Not perfection, but coherence. This is how the persona, instead of hiding your essence, channels it into action. 3. Career advancement. The persona as professional currency. Let's not pretend success in the modern world depends only on talent. How others perceive you matters. That's why I say, your persona is your psychological business card. It tells others what they can expect from you before you say a word. The persona is a compromise between individual and society as to what a man should appear to be. Dress matters. Tone of voice matters. Body language, posture, eye contact. All of these are elements of your persona. You don't need to fake anything. You need to become intentional. The more conscious you are of how you present yourself, the more strategic you can be in shaping your professional path without ever losing your soul. So let me be clear. The persona is not the enemy of authenticity. It is the vehicle through which authenticity can move in the world. Understanding the power your persona holds, here are practical ways to use this strength wisely in your social and professional life. Practice presence. Build confidence and calmness when you step into social or professional roles. Your persona gains power through your conscious presence. Seek feedback. Ask trusted friends or colleagues how your persona comes across. Use this feedback to adjust and grow. Navigating the persona. Finding the balance. Now that we understand what the persona is and how powerful it can be, we must ask ourselves, how do we use it wisely without losing ourselves? This is the art of navigating persona, the delicate balance between being authentic and adapting to the world. Authenticity versus adaptation. The persona should never be a false self, a made-up character that hides your true nature. Instead, it is a strategic adaptation. It's like wearing clothes that fit the occasion, not disguises that suffocate you. You choose what to show the world, but the core of who you are must remain untouched. The persona is a semblance of personality, a kind of mask designed on one hand to make a definite impression upon others, and on the other to conceal the true nature of the individual. In other words, the persona helps you navigate society without losing your essence. It is a bridge, not a cage. Avoiding the persona trap. Beware the greatest danger of the persona. When you begin to believe the mask is you, this is what I call the persona trap. When the persona defines you, your true self becomes a stranger. Your values, your instincts, and your deepest desires get buried beneath layers of performance and expectation. To stay true to yourself, regularly check in with your inner world. Question whether your actions come from genuine feelings or just a mask you feel pressured to wear. Remember, the persona is a tool, not a master. Evolving your persona. Lastly, your persona should not be static. As you grow and change, your social mask must evolve with you. Holding on to an outdated persona limits your freedom and locks you into roles that no longer serve you. The persona is not to be confused with the individuality of a human being. It is merely a social face which the individual presents to the world, a kind of mask designed to make a definite impression upon others. This means embracing change. As you learn more about yourself, as you gain experience, your persona becomes richer, more flexible, and more authentic. The wise person is like a skilled actor who knows when to change costumes, while never forgetting the script that comes from the soul. Balancing authenticity with adaptation is delicate work. These steps will help you maintain your true self while skillfully navigating the world. Set boundaries. Don't let your persona take over your true identity. Keep clear mental boundaries between your social roles and your inner self. Stay authentic. Practice honesty with yourself about your feelings and motivations. Adapt and grow. Update your persona as you learn and evolve. Never get stuck in old roles. Building your persona, a step-by-step guide. Now that we understand what the persona is and how to balance it with authenticity, it's time to take control and build your persona consciously, step by step. Step 1. Identify your strengths. First, look inward and recognize what makes you uniquely powerful. Your talents, skills, and natural gifts are the foundation of your persona. You cannot build a convincing mask if it does not reflect your true abilities. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Understanding yourself, your real strengths and shadows, gives you the material to craft a persona that is both effective and genuine. Step 2. Define your values. Next, clarify your values, the principles and ideals that guide your life. These are the compass that ensures your persona remains true to your core. Ask yourself, what matters most to me? And how do I want others to see me, not as a mask, but as a reflection of who I am inside? Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Knowing your values prevents a persona from becoming a hollow shell. Instead, it becomes a living expression of your inner truth. Step 3. Develop your brand. Finally, bring your strengths and values together to create a cohesive public image, a brand, if you will. This includes how you speak, how you dress, the energy you bring, and the way you treat others. Consistency is key. Your persona should be recognizable and reliable, so others know what to expect from you. The persona is the face one presents to the world, a mask to make a definite impression. But remember, this brand is not a facade. It's a reflection of the best parts of you. When your persona and your inner self align, you create a powerful presence that moves people and opens doors. Having grasped the foundations of your persona, these actions will guide you in consciously crafting a mask that reflects your genuine strengths and values. Update regularly. As you grow, revisit your strengths and values to keep your persona aligned with who you really are. Living authentically, embracing your persona. As we come to the heart of the matter, I want you to understand this. Persona built on authenticity is not only more powerful, it is lasting. People are drawn to what is real, not what is polished to a false shine. Authenticity and success. True success does not come from pretending to be perfect. It comes from allowing your genuine self to shine through your persona. When your mask reflects who you truly are, it resonates deeply with others. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. A genuine persona creates trust and invites meaningful connections. It's your most effective tool, not only for social success, but for inner fulfillment, embracing imperfections. No persona is perfect, nor should it be. Imperfections, vulnerabilities, and quirks are part of your humanity. They make your persona relatable and human. Trying to hide them only builds distance between you and others, and even worse, between you and yourself. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Accept your shadows. Let them live alongside your light. This honesty enriches your persona and keeps it grounded. The persona journey. Remember, the persona is not a static mask. It is a living, evolving part of you. As you grow, learn, and change, so too must your persona adapt. The individual cannot live without a persona, and it is also true the persona is always changing. This journey of refining your persona is ongoing. It requires self-awareness and courage. But it also leads to a more fulfilling life, one where your public image and your inner truth walk together, hand in hand. To live a fulfilling life with your persona, embrace these practices that keep your authenticity alive while you grow and evolve. Be patient. Refining your persona is a lifelong process. Embrace the journey, not just the destination. Celebrate growth. Notice how your persona changes as you evolve, and allow yourself to grow without fear. As you journey through life, remember, your persona is not a prison, but a bridge, a tool that connects your inner world to the outer one. Success comes not from hiding behind a mask, but from mastering it, so it serves your growth rather than conceals your truth. Embrace change. Stay curious about yourself, and let your persona be a living expression of your evolving soul. In doing so, you walk the path not only of social success, but of deep, authentic fulfillment.